Hi guys. So I figured I would make today's video since Kylie's unable to. I did already film. I had the idea very spontaneously, and so then I was just like, oh, I'll read it and then film something. And then I realized that was a big mistake because I had like nothing prepared and it wasn't good. So I figured I would try again. I'm slightly more prepared now, but still don't have high expectations. Anyway, okay, so Genesis chapter 28, the main section is that Jacob has a dream at Bethel, I think is how you pronounce it. So Isaac blesses Jacob and tells him to go to the city. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Paddan Aram. Please don't criticize me on how I say that and correct me. Just on the pronunciation though of how you say that. That's all. Okay, so his dream. First of all, it's going to be a longer journey, so he has to, I'm assuming for multiple nights, he has to sleep. And it says he took a stone and placed it under his head and then like went to sleep. So basically he used a rock as a pillow. And when I read that, I was thinking like, why bother at that point using a rock? Just sleep without a pillow, because that would be so uncomfortable to use a rock. Like, think about it. So, okay, anyway. And then he has this dream. So the dream was that there was a staircase, a stairway, whatever, going from earth into heaven, and then there were angels on it, and then God was speaking to him, I believe from the top. And there above it stood the Lord. Yeah, so at the top of the staircase, I guess, essentially in heaven, God was basically promising him the same thing that he's promised all these other people that we've been reading about too. I'll make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, or like grains of sand, and then he'll bless the nations like that will come after them. And so he reiterates that same thing to Jacob. And then in verse 15 he says, I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. So when I first read that, I was like, that is super comforting to know that the Lord is with us and that he's going to watch over us and he's going to provide for us. And then I had to think, wait a second. The second sentence says, I will not leave you until I have done what I promised you, which only leads me to think, okay, well, once he's done what he's promised, is he going to leave him? Of course not, because God's with us all the time. That's like the omnipresent thing that we were talking about. So I don't know if that's just me like overthinking the verse or if there's some other meaning to it that I'm just not getting. But anyways. And then after the dream, Jacob takes like a stone and he set it as a pillar and poured oil on top of it, kind of like marking it, kind of like all those offerings that they would give, like when certain events would happen in their lives, previously that we've read about. And then verses 20 to 22, so until the end, it says, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, blah, blah, blah. He says, then the Lord will be my God. I think that's a really cool, even though that it had to be somewhat proven to him, he's like, well, I don't know if the Lord's going to be my God until he proves it to me. And oh, look, he proved it to me. But I think that's a really good explanation or a really good example, I guess, of how it takes trust. And, nowadays I would say it's even more difficult because, we have the Holy Spirit with us, but we haven't, like way back when Jesus was like a human on earth, you could actually see him. And it made me think of, where is it? It's John 20, verse 29. This is when, after Jesus was crucified, Thomas wanted to see his wounds, because otherwise he wouldn't believe. And Jesus tells him, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed, which is similar to Hebrews 11, verse 1, which says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. And because Jacob saw him, he believed, but that should encourage us to believe even if we can't see him. Okay, this is a really long video, sorry. Anyway, so that's basically it from Genesis chapter 28. And for tomorrow's video, I'm going to nominate a April Larson. So, anyways, have a great rest of your day, guys.